Assalamu alaikum, dear bachelor holders. This is Professor Hawa Nisreen from the Department of English, Baji Mukhtar University, Annaba, Kniad member. I'm going to present for you types of English paragraph. I'm going to start with objectives. First, to explore the following types of paragraphs: narration, description, process, illustration, comparison, contrast, cause and effect. Identify the structure of the selected types of paragraphs and highlight the sentence connectors used with the selected types of paragraphs. We are going to start with the first sample paragraph, which is entitled The Earthquake Experience. Let's read together the topic sentence. An unforgettable experience in my life was a magnitude 6.9 earthquake. So we are expecting a story. Certain words are used in the supporting sentences, like suddenly, at first, then, meanwhile, at last, then, and next. Let's check the concluding sentence. However, our first experience was an experience that none of us will ever forget. So here it is a narration of a story. Narration is story writing. When you write a narrative paragraph, you write about events in the order that they happen. In other words, you use time order to organize your sentences. Now, as example, we can use these transition words like after, as, at last, before, during, eventually, finally, first, last, later, meanwhile, next, now, second, since, soon, then, when, and while. Now we move to the next paragraph, which is entitled The Best Teacher of English. The topic sentence is as follows. Among my secondary school teachers, the best was the teacher of English. So here we are expecting description of the qualities of this best teacher. And we have certain words like the best, tall, slim, black curly, big brown, shiny, elegant, strong, controlled, with excellence, fair, respectful, committed, and committed. All these words, they are used in the supporting sentences. The concluding sentence ends by saying, for sure, I will never forget how special she was. So this is a descriptive paragraph which explains how someone or something looks or feels. How we do this, it is through certain adjectives to tell how things look, feel, taste, or sound. It can be for shape and size, like large, small, wide, narrow, round, rectangular, atmosphere, cozy, comfortable, warm, cool, cold, or hot. How you feel: amazed, surprised, happy, nostalgic. For appearance, we can use words like colorful, unforgettable, beautiful, and attractive. We can also use prepositions to tell how a space is organized: in front of, behind, on top of, on the bottom of, next to, above, below, underneath, the right of, the left of, in the middle of, around, and between. For describing a character, we can refer to personality through certain adjectives: happy, satisfied, relaxed, serious, depressed, or referring to physical characteristics: big, large, tall, small, tiny, thin, strong, or weak. Now we move to the next paragraph. The topic sentence is as follows. In order to develop the public speaking skills, one needs to consider these steps. So whenever we have the word steps, it means there is a process. What are the words used in the supporting sentences or the connectors? We have first, second, third, and fourth. In the concluding sentence, it validates the topic sentence by saying, by following these steps, you will be among the great public speakers. So this paragraph is a process paragraph. It describes how something is done by explaining the steps to follow using certain transition words: first, second, third, next, then, after that, finally, the last step, before, and while. The coming paragraph is entitled Gifts, Purposes. Let's read the topic sentence. Gifts are meaningful and they have different purposes. So how the writer is going to refer to these purposes? It is through examples and using certain words like, for example, another example, for instance, in addition, and also. For the concluding sentence, to sum up, meaningful gifts have different purposes depending on our intention. Now, for illustration and example, we can use connectors like also, another, finally, first, second, and so on. For example, for instance, for one thing, for another, in addition, one example, another example. Now we have this paragraph entitled Greenhouse Effects. The topic sentence is as follows. Some scientists warn that the gradual warming of the Earth's atmosphere, known as the greenhouse effect, will cause dramatic changes in the world. Here already in the topic sentence we have two keywords, which are effect and cause. Then let's confirm from the supporting sentences, in which we find words like because of and since. In the concluding sentence we find, since most experts on the greenhouse effect are convinced that it is irreversible, they advise us to plan now for how best to cope with a changing world. So here it is all about cause and effect. And in this kind of paragraphs, the cause expressed in topic sentence, and then we proceeded to analyze the topic by discussing the effects revolving around the controlling idea. For cause, we use connectors like because of, since, as, owing to, or due to. For effect, we use so, as a result, therefore, consequently, which is why. Now, for the development of cause-effect paragraph, we can start from different causes that lead to certain situation, or from one situation that leads to different effects. Now, the last paragraph, which is about right brain versus left brain. So we have a hint from the title itself that it is versus, which means differences. Let's read together the topic sentence. The left and right sides of your brain process information in different ways. And here we have the keyword also, different. Let's see how it is developed, this paragraph, using certain words, as on the other hand, whereas in contrast, on the other hand. And it ends by saying, although one side may be stronger, both sides normally work together. So it is a contrast paragraph. Now, for comparison, it is we find a topic sentence that emphasizes similarities or likeness between two people, places, things, and abstractions. However, for contrast, we find a topic sentence that stresses the differences between two or more people, places, things, or abstractions. Now, the connectors with comparison are both and, also, to, similar to, similarly, the same as, likewise, just as, so. For contrast, we can use these connectors, but, while, though, neither nor, in contrast, however, on the other hand. The procedure of comparison and contrast will be organized the same way, which means here either we present the ideas in block organization, which means we start with the first topic, then we move to the second one, or it is point by point presentation. Here is the list of references, and thank you for your attention.